Hello, my name is John Carlson. I'm the Executive Director of Finance at Rochester Public Schools. Today I'm going to walk you through the budget reduction input items that the administration is proposing to the school board. We are presenting these sessions in a recorded format as well as in a live format, January 31st through February 3rd. Our agenda today is first to review the projected deficit for 22-23 school year, review accounting shifts and other assumptions that can be implemented. We'll review proposed budget reduction options for 22-23. We'll review additional budget reduction options that are not being recommended. We'll review the types of budget reduction options that the administration will be considering for the 23-24 school year. And then at the very end, we will gather input on the proposed budget reduction options for 22-23. So a little bit of the timeline. On December 7th, the administration presented the school board with a 5-year forecast, which explained the reasons for the deficit that the school district is facing. On January 11th, the school board selected 2 budget scenarios that the administration had presented to use for planning purposes. On January 25th, the school board asked the administration to seek public input on $7 million of proposed budget reductions. January 31st to February 3rd, the district administration is seeking public input. And on February 8th, the administration will make a final recommendation to the school board on an overall budget strategy, including budget reductions. We expect the school board to make a decision that night. So first, why is there a deficit being projected? This is not a surprise. We have been projecting a deficit for the last 3 years, and that it would fall in the 22-23 school year, where adjustments to our budgeting processes would need to take place. The basic premise of the situation is over the last 12 years, our student numbers have grown about 8% in total, but our staff has grown 30% in total. And this is unsustainable for the long haul. We're also opening new school buildings next fall, which will bring more capacity for future growth, but that does require some additional operating expenses now that make things less efficient for a few years until the buildings are operating more full. We have been in a tight labor market, and as a result of that, we've had over 100 positions open for the last few years, and this has been masking the budget deficit that is starting to grow. We've been underspending the budget because of the unfilled positions, but structurally there is a deficit that needs to be addressed. On top of that, we have had federal COVID funding for the last couple of years, and we expect that money to eventually run out at the end of the 23-24 school year. That's also been used to pay for things that the general fund cannot pay for right now. So first off, one of our solutions is to do anything we can that is not going to affect our students or our employees, and we call these accounting shifts. We also are looking at canceling 3 leases and not paying rent at those facilities now that we will have more of our owned space next fall. And then we're also going to adjust some of our budgeting assumptions that do not impact current employees and should not cause a reduction in opportunities for students. Expanding on the accounting shifts just a little further, first we have federal COVID funds. We need to seek approval to use these funds through the Minnesota Department of Education, and we're expecting to use $9.3 million in the next school year to offset part of the deficit. We also plan to use part of our savings account. It's projected that we will need to use $4.3 million of our savings account to fully pay for the things in our budget in this upcoming year. Just a note that even if we do spend $4.3 million of our budget, there would still be 9% of the district's annual operating budget in savings after we do that. We plan to delay a transfer into a retirement savings account for our retirees. I just want to note, though, that this will not affect our current retirees or our future retirees. The account is funded sufficiently that the retirees will still get the agreed upon benefits that they are expecting. Similarly, we're also going to delay another transfer to a different type of retirement savings account. And again, this will not affect our current retirees or upcoming retirees. They will still qualify and receive the benefits. We'll just delay saving into this retirement account temporarily. The 3 leases we're considering canceling are the Gage East lease for girls gymnastics. We're going to move that program to Friedel. The Boys and Girls Club lease for the middle school Right Fit program, we are eliminating that lease and moving that program to Friedel. And we're going to cancel a lease at 415 South Broadway, where we currently house the Incubator EDU program. This will impact a program, and it will be an elimination of the program. However, it has very low student involvement right now, and there will be other electives and opportunities for those students to take classes next year. Three more changes in our assumptions is we are going to transfer some money from our work comp fund. We will put that back into the general fund. We have sufficient funds available to pay future work comp claims, so we'll take some of this money back to the general fund. In our budgeting methodology, we're going to plan for 10 contingency teachers next year instead of 15. If enrollment increases beyond what we are planning and we need more than 10 extra teachers next year, we will come back to the school board to request more teachers. But that would also come with an expectation that there will be more revenue because our number of students is higher than what we thought it would be. And unfortunately, again, because of the labor market, we're assuming that 34 of our positions will be vacant at any given time next year. So we're just going to make a small reduction in our budgeting and assume that even though we want to fill these positions, there's a strong possibility that we'll be unable to fill every position every time a position becomes open, and there'll be some delay, which will save some money as well. So next comes the proposed budget reduction options that the administration is putting forward to the school board. Generally, we've sorted this list in an order that has the least impact on students and current staff. More information on these reductions and the impacts that will have on our operations and our education can be found in the detailed memo that we're posting separately on our website. Now I'll just go through the options one by one. First, we plan to reduce a central office contracted services and supply budget. We will reduce school building contracted services and supply budgets. We'll eliminate an unfilled central office clerical position. We will reduce unfilled positions in construction services and our COVID-19 response departments. We will reduce building administrators based on enrollment or enrollment shifts that happen over the summer. We will reduce unfilled teaching positions in special education. We'll eliminate the Incubator EDU program as mentioned before due to the low demand, the difficulty staffing, and the extra leased facility costs that we are incurring. We will reduce instructional coach positions. We will reduce unfilled special education para positions. We will not budget growth in future special education teaching and para positions, meaning we will try to operate with the same staff that we have today. We will reduce special education tuition contracts at a community nursery school. We will reduce central office curriculum support positions. We'll reduce clerical positions from 7 to 6 at our high schools. We will reduce and reorganize central office curriculum administrator positions. We will reduce and reorganize central office student services supporting positions. We plan to reduce and reorganize student services administrator positions. We will reduce central office supporting positions. We will reduce clerical positions from 3 to 2 at each of our middle schools. We'll eliminate the inside out annual payment. And we'll make a change to the elementary school general education paraprofessional staffing formula. There are two additional options that we are putting forward to the school board. We are not recommending these, but if any of the items on the previous mentioned list were to come off or be adjusted, these would be the next items that we would look at backfilling to get to the $7 million of reductions. We would first tighten the formula for how we staff our high school teachers. And then secondly, we would tighten the formula for how we staff our elementary school teachers. And then we're putting forward a list of ideas that we have been working on over the last several weeks. These, again, are not recommended at all for the 22-23 school year. These will require more conversations, more study for the 23-24 school year budget. And we're putting these in alphabetical order. There is absolutely no preference by the order of these. We're just listing them as ideas that we will be studying and may need to come back as budget reduction options for next school year. So first, we would look at changing set points for our heating and cooling systems to save energy costs. We'll look at closing a small elementary school and consolidating it with another school. We'll eliminate some athletic sports. We'll further reduce or eliminate instructional coaching. We'll look to reduce more administrative positions. We would look at reducing elementary reading teachers, reducing health office nurses, reducing our cleaning staff, reducing or eliminating transportation for our district-wide option schools. We would look at out-of-classroom student supports like social workers, school counselors, student resiliency specialists, security paraprofessionals, and equity specialists. We would look at reducing some high school electives or classes. We would look at reducing the number of electronic devices and the corresponding software licenses. And then finally, we'll look at tightening the formula for middle school teachers. Again, all of the options in this fourth group are needing more discussion, more work before they would come forward as future budget reduction options. They're absolutely not being recommended for the 22-23 school year. At this time, we encourage anyone who's watching the video to go to rochesterschools.org/budget and fill out the survey that we've posted there. It's a 4-question survey. We would like to hear public input on the strengths you note from the plan, any weaknesses you see in the proposed plan. Provide us with any suggestions for improvement to the plan, and then ask any questions that you have. And if you'd like a follow-up, make sure that you contact either the superintendent or myself. Our email addresses are posted there and can be found publicly as well. So at this time, I will conclude this video. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.